So this lesson is on adding and subtracting integers, and we're going to start with adding integers. Just as a quick review, integers are positive and negative whole numbers. So we're talking about positive and negative whole numbers, not decimals, okay? Decimals would be rational numbers. So I've got the rules written here in blue. You can see those rules. You can look over those. I'm going to skip the rules for right now, and I'm going to show you this in a different way of thinking about it, and then we'll come back and look at the rules. So one way I like to think of adding integers is it's a battle between positive and negative. It's a battle between positive and negative, and what you're looking for is who wins the battle. So in this question, 3 plus negative 5, we have 3 positives. So let me drag 3 positives down here. 2, 3, and we have 5 negatives. Let me drag 5 negatives over here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got a battle between 3 positives and 5 negatives. The winner of the battle is whoever has more in the battle. So this battle is going to be won by the negatives because there's 5 negatives and there's only 3 positives. So how much did the negatives win by? Well, how many more negatives are there? There's 3 positives, there's 5 negatives. So that means there's 2 more negatives, and it's -2 because the negatives won the battle. So if the positives won the battle, you would say how much did they win by? And the answer would be positive. If the negatives win the battle, it's how many did they win by? And your answer is negative. Now, let's look at how that works with the rules. So the rules say if the 2 numbers have the same signs, then you add them. So if they're both positive or both negative, then you're just going to add the 2 numbers together. If they have different signs, you're going to subtract them or find the difference between them. This is what we just did. So these 2 numbers were different signs. One was positive, one was negative. The difference between them was 2. And then the rule says the answer takes the sign of the larger number. The larger number is a negative number. It's the 5. So my answer is negative. So you can either follow the rules or you can think of it in this way as a battle. All right, so let's look at another example. So -3 plus 5. So we're looking at 2 numbers with different signs. So that means we need to find the difference between these. And then we need to figure out who wins. Looking at it in terms of this, I have 5 positives, right? 3, 4, 5. And I have 3 negatives. 1, 2, 3. And the positives are going to win the battle because they have more than the negatives do. There's 5 positives, 3 negatives. So what's the difference between those? How much did the positives win by? They won by 2. And the answer is positive because the positives won. Following the rules, different signs subtract them. So the difference between 5 and 3 is 2. The larger number is positive, so the answer is positive. All right, let's move on to another one. So this time, let's just follow the rules. Do these 2 numbers have the same sign or different signs? They have the same sign. They're both negative. So that means we're going to add these together. So when we add these together, 8. The larger number, the 5 here, is negative, so it's -8. In other words, there really is not a what you have is 1, 2, 3 negatives, and then you got 5 more negatives. 2, 3, 4, 5. And so there's no battle. The negatives win, and how many negatives are there? There's 8. Okay. So here's another one. These 2 have the same signs. They're both positive. So we're going to just add them together. 3 5 is 8. The bigger number is positive, so my answer is positive. All right, let's look at subtraction. All right, so if you notice, here's my same rules that I had for addition. Same sign, add, different sign, subtract, answer takes the sign of the larger number. But the first step here is different. There are no nice, simple rules for subtraction, but there's this cool trick. we can change any subtraction problem into an addition problem. Once we change it to an addition problem, we can follow these rules. The way you do that is by what's called adding the opposite. So when you have subtraction, you're going to change the subtraction to addition. The first number you're not going to do anything with, so you just bring that down. And then the second number, again, here it says opposite. What's the opposite of -5? It's +5. So a lot of times students are like, so you're telling me that 3 minus -5 is the same thing as 3 plus 5? And the answer is yes, it is exactly the same thing. So if you put 3 minus -5 in a calculator, you're going to get the same answer as if you put 3 plus 5. Here's a way to think of it in terms of language arts. I don't know if this helps or not. This is like a double negative in English, right? So a double negative would be if I said, I don't not like you. I don't not like you. If I'm saying I don't not like you, that means I do like you. Maybe that's confusing, but same idea. So 3 plus 5 is obviously 8. The rule says same signs add, answer takes sign a larger number. So we can do this trick with any subtraction problem. We can change it into addition. So let's look at another one. So again, the first number here, I'm not going to change that. That's a common mistake I see students do, is they want to change this first one. Don't change that. It's just add the opposite. So I'm going to change this to addition. And then what's the opposite of 5? The opposite of 5 is -5. I forgot to mention earlier, why are there parentheses here? The parentheses are just a visual to separate these two symbols, just because it looks strange when you have those two symbols next to each other. So it separates them, and it also combines this sign with the 5, so it's telling you this is not a minus sign. This is saying -5. So this is -3 plus -5. So same sign or different? They have different signs. So no, sorry, I misspoke. They have the same signs. This is a negative plus a negative. So we're going to add them. Answer takes the sign of a larger number. Larger number is negative. So it's -8. All right, I've got 2 more for you. So again, first number, don't change it. Change the subtraction to addition. And then change the -5 to a +5. So again, here we have a battle, right? Positives are going to win because there's more of them. How many more of them are there? There's 2 more positives than there are negatives. The positive's 1, so it's a positive answer. Then one last one. So again, don't change the first number. Change the subtraction to addition. Change the 5 to a -5. So you're adding the opposite. Again, we have a battle here. The negatives are going to win because there's more of them. How many more of them are there? There's 2 more, and the answer is negative because the negative's 1. The larger number is negative. Now, one thing I have to warn you of, a lot of times when I teach this, then students will get an addition problem, and they'll change it into a subtraction problem. Don't do that. You're just making your life harder. So we like addition because we have these nice addition rules. Subtraction, we want to change it into addition so that we can use the addition rules. All right, so I hope this was helpful to you, and I'll see you later.